Welcome to It's All Relative. I'm Josh.
And I'm Timothy.
And we are back with episode 12.
Yes, we are.
What's going on, my man?
Man, I'm chilling, dude. It's a great week.
Yeah?
The week has been great.
Why is that?
YouTube is getting better. I'm starting to learn new tricks with it. Nice. And I'm starting to take advantage of social media a little bit more, trying to put myself out there a little bit more.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to start bringing it back over here.
Nice.
Yeah. How have you been?
I've been good. Good week. I'm super excited for tonight's episode.
Me too.
This one's going to be real exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Before we get into it, I did want to mention and bring up, what did you want to call it? You wanted to call it the call-in?
The buzz-in service. We're going to keep changing the name, but the call-in service.
The call-in service?
Yeah.
So you want to run that by for
so
everyone again?
For people who use Anchor and listen to the podcast, you guys can actually call in. And you can ask questions or you can give shout outs and we will answer it live. If it's a shout out or if it's a question, we will take it live and you will hear yourself and you will hear back the recording and hear our answers.
And this is free, right?
And it's very free. Yeah.
See, that's awesome. So so all the listeners, you can literally shout out anything, right? You can call in. You can, if you wanted yourself as a listener to plug something in, if you want to shout something out.
For sure.
If you wanted to, shout us out or the podcast itself, that'd be awesome. Or if you have a question for either of us.
Yeah, or any concerns or any criticisms even. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Anything that can help us.
Absolutely. It will get edited in and we will answer them live.
For sure. And if you're obnoxious, it ain't going to be in. So don't be obnoxious calling in.
Right.
Yeah, you ain't going to hear it.
Today's episode is a special one.
How so?
We thought it would never happen. We had planned to have this person on during the first season, but due to scheduling difficulties and busyness that life throws at us, it does
happen.
Yeah, it just didn't work. But today's a new story.
Yeah, a new day.
A new day.
For sure.
Joining us in studio, cannabis activist and employee of the past dispensary, ladies and gentlemen, Danielle Doddle.
Welcome, Danielle.
Hi, everybody.
Nice. Yo, what's good?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on here.
Nice. Yes, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for agreeing to come on and share some knowledge about this ever-growing topic.
Absolutely.
Which is gigantic now.
I'm probably better known as D-Rock to some people. But,
yo, what's good, D-Rock?
Yeah,
D-Rock.
that's
okay.
me.
Yeah, rock with it.
That's my name. Well, my maiden name is Rock, so.
Oh,
that
makes for a great name.
Doddle, but yeah, my maiden name is Rock, so D-Rock just kind of stuck around. So.
All right, then we call you D-Rock for the rest of the episode.
That's fine with me.
All right.
That's what's up. So before we get into it, I wanted to bring something up real quick.
What's up, brother?
A documentary on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the other day. It's been on my mind ever since. It's been twisting. This shit was crazy.
I know you twisting right now explaining it.
Yeah, for real.
Have you guys seen the Vanishing at Cecil Hotel?
Never
I did. Yes, I did. I also watched the Ghost Adventures documentary about it too.
There's a Ghost Adventures?
Yes, there is. They came out with it shortly after the Netflix documentary came out, and I watched that as well.
Okay.
It was crazy. It was crazier than the documentary itself, I think.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is it?
I think it's probably like an 8 or 9.
8 or 9?
Definitely up there.
Okay.
Both of them. Both of them are definitely worth watching.
Got it.
What did you think of the documentary? The one on Netflix?
I was really intrigued by it. It definitely got my brain going, kind of like how you are. I've been thinking about it ever since, and I feel like everybody that's seen it has kind of been like that. It definitely is definitely a mind fuck.
Absolutely, right? Okay,
so it's a lot visceral.
There's a lot of factors that go into the whole thing. I was really confused about the hotel itself because I know how they split it at one point, and it was one and not. That part confused me. It was just the energies and the people that were there just did not mix well with
so
everything.
The hotel itself had a really bad history.
Okay.
There were a lot of deaths that took place. People were raped and murdered.
Jesus.
There were
suicides.
Suicide, just crazy events would happen.
Were people
at this hotel.
compelled to do these things or something? Is that the gist of it?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Things doing it or things influencing people to do it. that type of thing. It's also like in the middle of Los Angeles on Skid Row.
Actually,
Yeah,
well, that's
yeah.
what it is.
So it's
I've
like
been through that,
it's like
that part of LA. So.
it's like an epicenter of that, plus everything that's going on in the hotel. Everybody that's been in there, everybody's whose energies have been there. There's been rituals and satanic shit done in there. Like
Pass.
it's
Richard-
just a melting pot for bad things.
Pass.
Like that's
Richard Ramirez stayed there, who was the Night Stalker.
There was
in
another
I gotta
serial
watch
killer.
that too.
He
Yeah.
stayed there, like, so he would kill people and then go back and
Jesus.
mentioned it in this documentary. Like, he would literally, I guess, like, change his clothes, like, in the alley and
Yep.
then walk up to his room, like, in his underwear with, like, you know,
Blood.
blood-stained underwear, you know, back up to
and he
his
would
Just
leave him in
back
the
up to the
dumpster
room?
in the alley. Yeah, he would
Jesus
just walk through the
Christ.
hotel like
And nobody
that.
said nothing?
That's what
No.
I fucking said. I was watching this. I'm like, where are all these people to like see this and what's going on? Like,
It's crazy.
there was one lady who like dropped her baby out the window.
Just,
like,
really weird things. So
Crazy
it-
shit.
So it was, like, really bad energy, just bad spirits, bad vibes there, right?
Pass.
But
Can't do it.
The whole real story, it was about a girl named Elisa Lamb. Who
Okay.
She lived in Vancouver, I
Uh-huh.
believe,
Canada, yeah.
And she was 21. She wanted to travel.
Okay.
So she came to Cali. She was by herself.
At 21, forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she wanted to experience and travel, you know, see
Mhm.
life
Mhm.
and whatnot.
See the world.
Right. She gets to California. I believe she hit up San Diego.
Mhm.
She was a blogger.
Tumblr, yeah. She
so-
like it was her diary. She like
think
documented
I've-
everything.
I think I've heard of this.
You must, yeah, because when I was watching it, I remember like hearing about it when it happened, and then
Right.
seeing the documentary. It was like, oh my god,
And then it has like a cult-like following of people trying to figure out what happened
to her?
Right.
Yeah,
I've definitely heard of it.
She went into the Cecil Hotel and disappeared.
Never
And
came
never
out.
came out.
Jesus.
Never checked out.
Oh, it's that one chick
So-
that's like in. They have like a camera footage of her in the elevator, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Which I wanted to say, that was the first main part of this whole documentary thing that was so crazy, right?
Mhm.
The video.
The
of
elevator
it.
The
video.
elevator video.
What did you think of?
I don't know how I feel about it. It weirded me out because there was people, they were saying that they think it was altered and they think that people were messing with it. I thought it looked reversed. Like I thought
Okay.
it looked mirrored. Like you know
Uh-huh.
how sometimes cameras do that? They like flip it so it looks like a
Right.
mirror. But it was just weird.
It was so.
It was just really weird.
The way that she.
I had to keep
acted-
rewinding it because I was like, what is she doing? Like, what is she doing?
Yeah, the way that she acted, it looked like her movements. It made her look like she was scared or
Like
hiding
panicked.
from somebody.
Mm-hmm. Because she kept like checking out,
She kept,
checking
like,
out
Yeah, like
the
poking
elevator
her head
door.
out the elevator door and looking around.
So she didn't bring this shit on herself, did she?
No.
She seems like
And-
more suspect than everything else.
See, and
the
the
way
thing
that her
is,
hand movements were and whatever, it looked
Yeah.
like she was talking to somebody.
she
Wow.
was like going back and forth, like, and she just was very erratic and very like panicked.
and then she
like-
she left the elevator and then disappeared,
That was it.
and you never saw her.
What if she
Mhm.
committed suicide? I mean, what if she just like decided to just walk off a cliff or something?
Well, she didn't walk off of something.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Don't spoil it then.
Yeah.
I guess I have to watch.
Yeah,
this
you
then.
have to watch
For
it.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't spoil it, but I mean, the
Sounds like
ending,
brutal murder. Then.
The ending,
Yeah.
though, and the
This is
way
crazy.
that it ties up has twisted my whole thoughts. It makes me
It's
so
just like-
crazy because I don't know.
There's so many
man.
questions
It's-
and there's no answers.
I'll give it
okay.
the word. I'll give it the once over. Don't worry.
She's missing for 19 days.
Damn.
Mhm.
They can't find her. She was somewhere in that hotel. She
Mhm.
ends up being in a water tank.
Oh wow.
Yep.
There's 4 water tanks. They were on the roof of the hotel.
Jesus.
Okay.
That you need access to
Access
being
to.
an employee.
That's like some Mexican mafia level shit.
Well, what was weird too, though, is that people in the hotel and whatnot,
Right.
they were trying to use their water, and their water was coming out like brown.
Mm.
Wow.
Like
Forget
and
it.
people were brushing their teeth and drinking this water and
Mhm.
bathing.
And bathing with it.
And what ended up happening was that this chick's
It's
decomposing body
It's just
has
floating
rotted
in
and
the
floating.
water tank.
in the
Damn.
water tank, and these people
Bloated
the
and everything. I'm
guests,
sure.
we're all drinking this water, and it was
and like
churns your stomach.
And the way that she's in there, like there's a door, and I don't understand because it was closed, right? When the maintenance guy walks up to it, and then it's they were that part confused me too. Like it lost me. The whole door thing, because
was it
it's
the
like
maintenance guy?
No. It's he found her.
Oh, he found
her because they made him. They got complaints about the water, so they made him go check to see what was going on in the water tanks.
Imagine looking in the water tank and just seeing a body floating.
Oh my God.
So there's a hatch on top of the water tank.
But you can't reach it from the inside.
Jesus.
That's
that whole part was a little confusing. Oh man, I believe when he had come up and found her, I believe that it was off.
Like
and
it
that's
was
why
open.
It was open.
Yeah.
And that's how he had seen her. But originally, when the story broke out, one of the cops or whatnot had said the hatch was closed or sealed.
Yeah.
So that's what made everyone think like, there's no way this person could.
There's
why
no way
would this
she
person
did it.
Be in a water tank? And how would she close this hatch?
Over on herself.
And why would she?
And she stripped
naked.
down. She stripped down when she got in the water tank. Like when she got in, she took all of her clothes off. Like she wasn't naked previously. She was. She stripped herself when she got in the water tank.
Y'all both giving away the entire story, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
We
Sorry.
That's all right.
It's been on Netflix. I think the other day it was number 10 in the U.S.
Yeah.
But this.
I guess we have to watch it.
This thing was fire. But I mean,
everybody should watch it.
Everybody should watch it.
Crazy.
I think it was wild. And it boiled down to I wasn't cool with the ending because they kind of just chalked it up to some mental illness. Like
she was her behalf.
Yeah, because she had bipolar. And she had a history of like stopping and starting her medication. And before she decided to go to Los Angeles, she stopped her medication. So it's like that probably is part of it. It probably, if there is something negative and bad in that building, it's probably, it made her vulnerable to it. It made her susceptible, because if you're already, like everybody was saying, it looks like she's in the middle of a little bit of a mental episode in the elevator. Right. That's something that people say.
Like that she was trying to crack and they was trying to figure it out.
Which is definitely something that's possible, because those things make you nuts. When you get into an episode, and if you're supposed to be on medication and you're not taking it, and all of those things combined, it makes her vulnerable. So it's like there was something in the Ghost Adventures documentary that stuck with me, because they have people that come in and they like just send them into these places and they're like, tell us what you feel.
Tell us what you feel.
So the one guy, this is another spoiler alert, the one guy walks up and he's in the middle of all 4 of the water tanks, and they didn't tell him anything, and he's like, she didn't get in there by herself.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Like, maybe somebody helped her close the hatch.
He said, I don't know if it was somebody or something, but she is not in there from her. Like, she did not do that herself. Right. So that's what, me being me, I definitely think she was susceptible to something in there, and it could have been along the lines of that, but we will never know.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You can really at this point only make your own kind of accusations, and that's unfortunately, like, you really can't get a full answer of like what happened to this girl. It's just unfortunately one of those things that's like going to be unanswered forever.
Right.
Unless these internet sleuths get on the case.
Unless people figure it out.
They did. They went hard on it.
People went nuts.
Yeah,
people went nuts.
That's how I remember. I just don't know the title of the story.
Yeah, people went crazy about it.
Yeah. It was cool. It was awesome. I advise everybody.
I think everybody should watch it. It's definitely worth watching to sit down and binge something.
For sure.
It's not a lot of episodes either. It's only like 8 or 9.
No. 4.
Oh, even less. Oh, it felt longer.
Yeah, no, you're about an hour long, because
that's why it felt longer.
I was able to crush it out in a day.
Yeah, it's one of those easy shows to just watch in a day off.
Netflix is known for that shit.
Hell yeah.
Watch all this shit all at once.
Hell yeah.
Now get to it.
So no, that was a quick sidebar, real quick, just because its story has been crazy. But let's get into.
Damn, real have to be crazy.
Yeah, it was wild, bro. Like I said, watch that documentary.
100%.
What's the name of it again?
The Vanishing at
Cecil Hotel.
Got it.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I hope you have Netflix.
Yeah. Let's get into today's topic, because today it's
super excited.
Yeah, it's wild. It's gonna be wild. So According to an article in the Washington Post, it states nearly 55 million adults currently use marijuana. I believe more and more people are finding the benefits that cannabis has to offer.
I think so, especially with places legalizing it. A lot of people are feeling more comfortable diving into it and trying it out.
Which is crazy, though, because cannabis itself is still somewhat of a controversial subject.
Yeah.
Very controversial.
You know what I'm saying?
Extremely.
Which we will touch on in a little bit. But Danielle,
Yes.
you work at a dispensary currently, correct?
I sure do.
Now, a dispensary is defined as a room where medicines are prepared and provided.
Yes, sir.
What is the name of your dispensary?
So we are The Pass. We are located in Sheffield, Massachusetts, where cannabis is recreationally and medically legalized. We are a recreational dispensary. We are not medical. We are just recreational, so you don't
Not
need a medical
medical.
card or anything. Yeah, no. Some places are like split. A couple places are like that, but we are just rec. So
Okay.
and we do everything on site.
Okay. Do they have like a higher requirement to have recreational versus medical?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
I know that the medical regulations are a lot different than ours.
Okay.
Recreational regs are a lot more strict. Our milligrams are much lower in all of our dosed edibles and stuff like that. Medical's percentages and limits are a little bit higher because they're medical.
Right.
So that's kind of the only like disappointing part, but really I don't think it's disappointing at all because it's, you know, it's one step further into being
Yes, it is.
into being legal, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One step at a time.
So
Yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah.
How long have you been employed at the Pass?
I have been with The Pass since day one. I believe our first day of training, I think, was July 13th, and we opened on July 17th, 2020.
Okay.
Yeah,
During COVID.
During COVID. Jesus
Yep,
Christ.
we opened mid-pandemic. Yep, it's been fun. We have adjusted as we've gone along because things have tightened and loosened as we've gone, and we have adjusted as appropriate, as according to Governor Baker's requirements. So we do what we got to do to keep everybody safe and to keep us safe, and
That's good.
we keep everything clean. We're very serious about it. We take it like we're on top of it. So
sure.
it's nice to know that.
It's really interesting that you guys opened up during COVID, considering like all of like the breathing issues that comes with it.
It's definitely interesting. We've been able to do it, and there, like I mentioned to you guys earlier, there's a couple other that opened, but we opened. Like I said, I think the height of what it kind of was for
like
that
the
point.
craziest, yeah.
The craziest point.
Like put on your mask, run away from these type of people.
Yeah,
it does happen.
You know, we've done what we've had to do to adjust.
Right.
So it's been weird. But I worked through the whole thing, so I was working anyway. And then when I got the job, it was still like the same thing for me.
Right.
So
shout outs to them for giving you guys jobs during that time too.
It's incredible what these people did. The team that we have behind us, like the management team and everybody higher up, everybody's incredible. It's awesome to work beside these people.
That's a blessing.
See, you know, how far they've come just with the investment itself, and like to see it in person. I can only imagine how they feel since they've been here since it was just an idea, you know, and like I get to see the physical thing, and it's amazing to be a part of this. It was such a blessing to get this job.
Yeah, man.
I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, this is like my whole thing. Like this is everything.
That's exciting for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be able to have that opportunity.
It's definitely nice. I got very lucky.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's definitely customers are always like, oh man, this is a dream job. I'm like, yeah, it kind of is. Like it definitely is.
What type of product do you offer, or is that the dispensary? Can you touch on that?
Yeah, I sell it. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So we offer packed flower, which is, you know, just buds.
Mm-hmm.
We only sell eighths. We don't have other quantities really. We package everything by the eighth, but you are able to buy like more than one. So if you want a quarter or something, we can do that. It's just all packaged by the eighth.
Right.
We have pre-rolled joints. We have vape cartridges and vape devices. We have edibles. We have marijuana infused products like edibles.
The full entourage.
We have everything. Yeah, we got everything.
That's cool.
Everything. All the goodies.
have you ever helped or met anyone famous at your dispensary?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know if I should say their names, but we do have one regular celeb.
Regular.
It's pretty awesome.
Who is it?
Or can you drop a hint, maybe?
Rap artist?
No.
Actor, actress.
I think she's probably an actress, and she's married to somebody.
Nice.
She's married to a musician.
Nice.
And I guess he's also like an actor director.
Sweet.
A horror actor director.
Right now, you can have people knocking at the door looking to see who it is.
They're not. She hasn't been there in a while, but we do get. I also I got to talk to somebody famous, and I still like fangirl about this. This is the coolest thing ever. He was
Your voice went up a couple octaves on that.
Yeah, it was. He's one of my favorite actors, and it was just like he came in, and I was checking IDs, and I was like, oh my god. And I like dropped his ID on the counter because I was like, oh my God, this is like exactly who I think it is.
You can't believe it.
So when he was coming out, he turned around and like say, have a good day. And he went to open the door. I was like, wait, oh my God, wait. I was like, you are like one of my favorite actors. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And I was like, I'm so sorry. This is probably so annoying. I was like, you are amazing. I was like, I really needed to tell you that. And I said, I hope you and your family have been safe during all this like wildness and whatever. And he like I could see a smile through his mask, and he was like, oh, you're so sweet, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God. I never do stuff like that either.
Right.
So it just came out.
Oh, it just comes out there.
It was
you
just
sure?
one of the, I was freaking, all my coworker, everybody
awesome,
was, I was freaking out. I was freaking out. I was like, do you know who that was?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's pretty tight.
happiness,
Yeah.
man.
It's just, one of those things.
Josh, have you ever met anybody who's famous?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
You've had to have met like one.
Had to have met somebody.
I know there have been athletes. Robin Williams recorded a movie years ago.
Damn.
In a
R.I.P.
town.
Yeah, rest in peace to him.
Yeah, in a town.
Beautiful man.
Absolutely amazing.
Called Montgomery. I used to be around that area and
Right.
And I remember them filming the movie there. And we were on set. There were pictures taken and whatnot. So that was cool.
That's awesome.
That is pretty lit.
I also met Rick Ocasek when I was a teenager. He was in the Cars.
You fangirl over him too?
I didn't know who he was. I was like 18. I worked at the A&P in Pleasant Valley, and everyone was like, "Do you know who that was?" I was like, "No."
No, who the hell is that?
And then as soon as they told me, I was like, "Oh my God, I know who that band is." I love me some classic rock. I felt really ashamed for not knowing who he was.
That's all right. You know who he is now.
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
What about you, bro? You met?
Yeah, who have you
famous
met?
People,
Met quite a number of people being in.
I was
going to
say you said Cali, so I'm sure you've met.
Had to
some
run in
people.
with many people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like who?
Robert Downey Jr.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, one of the.
Is he nice?
Iron
he's
Man.
he's Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool
That's
dude.
awesome.
And it's funny because I'm willing to bet that he's just being himself when he's portraying Iron Man. That's like all of his like the verbal tics and like the shaking and
Yeah.
like, I mean, that's just who he is.
He's got a
when he was talking.
crazy history.
He really does.
Yeah, he
life
does.
History,
Yeah, with the alcoholism and all that
Yup.
stuff too.
Yeah,
That
wow.
shit is so.
It's devastating.
That's
It's
something else
devastating.
that's really exciting to mention. Massachusetts just got. We're able to now sell THC infused beverages.
Shout out to
shout
Massachusetts.
Which is
out.
pretty dope. We're
For
all really
real.
excited about it. A lot of us dropped our beverages yesterday. We did also. We dropped some
Word.
seltzers, so that's something else
That is
to
awesome.
throw in there, which is pretty freaking exciting.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
We should mention
It's
too,
pretty
real
tight.
quick. I know, fans can't really see, but we know that you were rocking a
Yes,
T-shirt.
I have our logo. I have our logo on here, our beautiful past logo. I also have it on my water bottle here.
Okay.
In color. This is what it looks like
Wow.
in color.
Honestly, it's a great logo.
It's a beautiful logo. We
Yeah.
all love it. We adore the packaging. It's gorgeous.
For the fans that can't see, what's the logo based on?
So it's just supposed to be an outline of the Berkshire Mountains because
Okay.
we are located in the beautiful Berkshires. On the East Coast. So,
Beautiful.
I think it's a pretty good representation of my drive to work every day. I think it's pretty accurate, and it's, it's just so pretty no matter how they have it. We have a really pretty window, like a glass window in the store
It's perfect.
with the logo on it, and I just love it. It's like, I just love it. It's so pretty. Everybody loves it too. packaging is everything. Like it's got to be attractive. It's got to draw people in.
It has
like,
to.
Absolutely.
You know, it's part of it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And with that said, are you going to be having merch? I guess that's for the shout out later.
Yes.
Okay.
I got a proof for that too. So we will be dropping stuff in the spring. We're
Yes, we have
really
to pick up
excited
some
about
stuff.
that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's awesome. Shout out to the Pass. It sounds like they're on top
For
of
sure.
their game. You know?
Actually.
It's a great place to be.
They putting in work.
I always think though when you mentioned to me the name of the dispensary, I always think that how funny would it be if their name was Puff Puff Fast? That would've been
Well, the
cool.
funny
Puff
thing
Puff
is,
Pass.
that's what it's the pass. It's the pass of a joint.
Yeah.
Oh,
The pass
okay.
of a joint and the
That's
passing
tight.
of
Okay.
the legalization.
Right.
and- Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
slick. I
Multiple levels. Yeah.
hmm
That's slick. I didn't even
Yep.
think about that second part. So that makes it dope.
And it's really
actually.
cute
Actually.
because there's like a road sign that's like right past our entrance that says "Do not pass." So it's like "Do not pass the pass" because it's right there. It's really cute. It's really cute and funny.
Do not
If you
pass.
like,
Stay right here.
if you
Come in-
like
come in.
puns, don't
That's-
pass the pass.
For real.
That's awesome. What's a common question that customers often ask?
What's the highest THC percentage weed you have right now?
Oh, what is the highest?
Right now, I think our highest, right now, off the top of my head, is either I think it's our Captain's Cake at 24%, and I
Wow.
think Chaos Kush by Holistic is at like 26.5%.
26? Yeah.
I think those are our two
Shout out.
highest right now. Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty damn high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you when people come and purchase these things that you have to check IDs.
Yes,
and
we do. Right now we do 2 ID checks because we don't. It's too cold, so we only have like an inside ID check. But we usually have one outside, one inside, and then a third one at the register.
Mhm.
And we do that just for triple confirmation, 3 sets of eyes, checking your ID to make sure that it's real and it's who you are. Because we're really serious about people being in there who are allowed to be in there, people who should be in there,
Right. And
people
not minors.
and not minors,
Right.
not people who are using other people's IDs because
Right.
their ID is expired, that type of thing. We're really serious about it.
Right.
It's a big deal.
So legal age being 21.
21 years old on the property. If you're not 21, you're not allowed to even be on like the property.
Okay.
Get them out of here.
Yeah, a lot of the places we don't do curbside, but any of the dispensaries that do curbside check everybody. If you pull up in a car full of people, they check everybody's IDs.
Okay.
And if anybody in the car is not 21, you're not allowed to purchase.
Right.
You have to come back without them. They're like it's a big deal.
Okay.
So
Now, what happens when someone's purchasing items and whatnot, and you check their ID and it is them, but they're from a different state?
So we are under the assumption that all of our customers who come in are purchasing to consume in a private residence in the state of Massachusetts, where cannabis is recreationally legal.
Okay.
If somebody comes in and tells us that they're going back to another state or they're taking it back somewhere else, we are not advised to sell to them because we do not condone crossing state lines where it's not legal. That's not what we're there for.
Okay.
We are there to serve the state of Massachusetts where it's legal.
Yeah, you're not safe.
I'm not
serving anyone
I'm not
else.
serving
New York or
Connecticut or
anyone.
where
Right.
it's not recreationally legal. So regulations are real serious.
Do you know if, let's say, for example, New York legalizes for recreational, will that change the dynamics? Do you know if it will for your state?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think
That's all right
state
if
to
you don't
state
know.
stuff is allowed. Like even with it being like, I know all of our distributors have to be from Massachusetts. Like we're not allowed to have wholesalers from
Wholesalers.
out of state,
Makes
no matter
sense.
what.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say it's probably still gonna be similar thing, not traveling over state lines, even if it does become recreationally legal here.
Okay.
Just for the like state to state travel stuff, we don't condone that. That's kind of the only reason why I would say we
Yeah,
probably wouldn't
not.
change much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets real deep when it gets to
A lot of
laws
gray
and
areas.
rules. Yeah,
Right.
A lot of gray areas.
Each state and state to state.
Yeah,
whatnot.
and that's just the bad part is it's state to state. But we're getting there.
You get in there one step at a
Slowly.
time before it hits federal.
Seriously.
slowly.
We're
Yeah.
getting there.
You commute to the pass,
Mhm.
correct? You live in New York
I do. I reside in New York.
and drive to Massachusetts
Yes.
every day. Some people may think that's crazy, but not that far of a trip, huh?
No, it's only, I think it's a typical commute for most people. It's only about a 35, 40-minute drive, depending. It's not that far. I live right kind of near the border of Mass, so it's a little bit closer.
That's dope.
So
when you got hired for this job, explain the whole drug testing. Do they drug test you?
No.
What
Yeah,
about
I wouldn't think
employees?
so.
Oh, I
they didn't drug
figured.
test us.
Okay, because I figured that
They kind of assume that we all
most-
smoke weed.
Right,
so
okay.
they didn't
That's
drug test
interesting.
us.
Yeah. Do they drug test or not?
I've never been drug tested for a job.
Okay.
Ever.
Really?
Never. Interesting.
Never in my almost 10 years of working. So
That's cool.
Shout
yeah,
out to 10
I've
years.
never been drug tested.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Some people don't get drug tested.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got lucky, I guess.
All right, this next question is for both of you. How has cannabis impacted you?
Cannabis has made a huge difference in my life, and I always feel like it's really cliche when people say it, but like it's helped me in so many ways with my anxiety and like my mental illness
Mhm.
and just being a person in general. It's not something that's a chemical or that's like gonna make me have all these different side effects. Like the
loopy and everything.
the only thing it does to me is makes me hungry and
Right.
like whatever. I have snacks on me all the time anyway.
Do you
so
feel that?
it doesn't really affect
No, it's fine.
me.
It's fine. I was going to ask, do you
But-
feel like it balances you out?
I truthfully can definitely say that I feel a difference when I smoke and when I don't smoke.
Okay.
Like if I go, a day or so without actually smoking anything, I do feel a little bit more like wound up and a little bit more not
Right.
angry, but a little bit more irritable.
Right.
I like to compare it kind of like to somebody not having a cigarette for a couple days if you smoke cigarettes every day.
Right.
It's that type of feel. Like it's like a cigarette for me now. That's how it is. It's something that I need a little bit of it to get me.
You
It's
need
like
that baby hit to just keep
yeah,
going.
it's my medicine. That's how it is. It's like you most people take pills all day long. I don't
Right.
take pills. I use cannabis.
Right.
I that's what I do.
Shout
That's
outs
my
to not
medicine.
taking pills all day.
Shout outs. There's
Honestly.
absolutely
Yeah, no.
there is absolutely nothing wrong with taking pills. Absolutely nothing wrong
Right.
with it. Sometimes your body
may
needs
have
it.
to,
I
for
prefer it this way. I've tried antidepressants. I've tried all of that stuff before. It doesn't help me. It makes it worse. I don't like how it makes me feel.
Right.
But like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking pills if you're taking them appropriately
Right,
for medicine.
right. Like you're supposed
clearly.
to. Mm-hmm.
But me personally, cannabis is my med. That's my thing. It's been my go-to. It helps me, and it's the best thing ever.
Millions of people agree with you.
I feel really truthfully, really, really sad for people that don't get it and just see it as this horrible, god awful, damned plant. And it's like I don't understand and it's the people who are addicted to pills and are drinking all
It's
the
true.
time
It's
and
true.
are doing these things that are awful for your body. And it's like this grows out of the ground. Like this is like you can
Right.
grow it in your garden by yourself. Like it's not something that
They're
there's
very-
just
Minds are
such an
changing,
awful
though.
stigma, and I just can't wrap my head around it.
It's changing, and some other people they're starting to come to terms with a younger generation not caring what they think.
yeah,
Before it was everybody is of the same age, and it was more of like a real fight of loggerheads between
Yeah.
who agrees and who doesn't. But now, I mean, a lot of them I've heard of a lot of people who take it and that are older that were against
Yeah.
it before.
and a
And
lot
they're
of
okay now.
a lot of our customers are people in their 50s and 60s and 70s
thought
who
so.
are either like potheads that have been potheads since the 70s.
Right.
Shout
Or
out.
they're yeah, for real.
Shout out
Shout
for
out to
real.
you guys, because we wouldn't be here today without them.
There you go.
We would not be here. And I tell all my customers that, like, everybody, I love getting to interact with these people and hearing their stories and
Wow.
hear like, oh, this looks so different from what we used to get. And like
Oh no.
this is like, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. You
It's
know,
good, it's good.
And a lot of my customers are like, "Oh, I've never tried it. I've never smoked weed before, but it's legal, and I want to try it now. Like, it's okay to try it now."
Okay, I have a question for you then.
Yeah,
We're
of
gonna
course.
we're gonna set it up. Like, what do you tell somebody as a bud tender who is of that age and has never tried it before?
So my first question always to people is how do you want to consume? Because
Okay.
some people don't want to smoke, which is totally fine because there's
Right.
other ways to get it.
Right.
So my first question is always starting with how they're comfortable consuming it.
Okay.
Whether they want to start with gummies or whether they want to smoke, or whether sometimes people just want to grab like a pre-roll just to see how they like it, and it's quick and already rolled for them. They can just light it and smoke it.
Okay.
So once I find out that, I kind of go either way. I usually will recommend mild stuff for newbies.
Okay.
I try not to give them crazy stuff. We always really
Crazy stuff.
I don't like people to have bad experiences. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. And a lot of my customers are like, man, I took these edibles one time and I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital.
What do you say to them then?
It sucks because when some people are so turned off by it, but I try to just tell people like,
you'll be okay.
You'll be okay.
Right.
Everything's fine. You'll be all right.
It will pass.
But you can cut them in half. You can make it so that you can adjust it to how you want to feel.
Okay.
Right.
But when people are new, I always recommend something mild because I never want people to have a bad experience, especially like I think edibles are a great way to start just because they're a little bit more of a mild effect and if you can experience them, because some people don't feel anything and it sucks when you can't feel anything from edibles.
Right.
Right.
So sometimes, it's not for everybody, but the gummies are a great way to start, I think. Just because of the fact that they're easy to take and they're good.
Now,
delicious.
do you have like a dosage?
Yes. So all the packages have little labels on them, and the labels have everything, their ingredients, all of the percentages of everything about it. They have to legally. They have to be completely labeled with everything. But yeah, so everything that we sell can't be more than 5 milligrams a dose. This is like I mentioned earlier with our regulations, like medical regs are completely different. Their edibles are much higher, stuff like that. We just it's only 5 milligrams. It sucks, but that's what we got to do. So a lot of our packages are 50 milligrams for the whole pack or 100 milligrams for the whole pack because we can't sell more than that.
All right.
But they're all labeled. Some of them are like a little under 4 milligrams, which is usually what I recommend to people who are just starting out because they're low, they're mild, they're low
mild.
dose and very mild.
Okay.
But if they're closer to 5, I also recommend cutting them in half so they're just a little bit lower of a dose because just you want people to be comfortable. I never want anybody to have a bad experience. That's my biggest thing. Like I know so many people have had bad experiences with cannabis and like over consuming on cannabis, and it's not fun because I've done it too.
Okay.
I've just never been turned off from it. I don't care. Like it's a bad high, whatever. I'll get to the next one. That's kind of how I
that makes
feel.
sense. It makes sense.
I've never had a bad enough high that it's turned me away from not wanting to use cannabis again.
In the form of someone else who just has no idea, do you guys have like a limitation of a dosage that you don't want newbies to go beyond?
I never suggest taking more than one, especially if you're. I mean, whatever. If you tell me you're going to take the whole pack, I don't suggest it. I can't tell you to not take. Like I can't tell you what to do, but I don't suggest taking more than one.
Right.
But people will ask me, like, do you think that's too much? And I always tell people, if you feel like it's too much, if you feel like the number is too high, cut it in half.
Okay.
And it'll drop it in half for you.
Right.
So
I'm sure it varies for everybody
it does
individually, and that's why people have problems with edibles.
That's why edibles are really like hit or miss for people. Some people love them and only want edibles, and some people are like, I fucking hate edibles. They don't do anything for me.
No edibles for
What's
me.
the point? And it's everybody's different.
And they're different.
That gets into the endocannabinoid system. That's a whole fun topic. People look at me like, what? So when you eat an edible, it's broken down like food. So it's broken down through your liver. And everybody has an endocannabinoid system. So basically, if your body doesn't produce enough enzymes in your endocannabinoid system, you can't properly digest the cannabis, which is a lot of the times why people don't experience it. It doesn't necessarily have to do with your tolerance, although I think your tolerance, me personally, I think tolerance has a very, very, very small portion to play with edible feelings.
Right.
But a lot of the times it does have to do with your endocannabinoid system and not having the right enzymes to properly digest it.
Okay, very interesting.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, it varies with people with edibles and whatnot. And people expect, if they're used to maybe when they smoke it, you feel the effects
instantly.
immediately.
Right.
Whereas opposed to when you take edibles, it
hits you
it
like
takes
2
time.
hours
A
later.
couple
Takes time
hours.
to digest. I would always say probably within the hour. You know, depending on how strong they are.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And people don't know because they may take a certain amount not knowing, thinking, oh, is it too much? And then, that's
Right.
it. It's all experimental. You got to
That's
find
the
out the
thing.
right level that fits you
Right.
as the
What
individual.
works for you.
Right.
Exactly.
I always feel like that's probably, as far as, I know we're probably going to talk about a little bit more, but I always feel like that is going to be one of the major issues with legalizing, because how do you tell somebody, take this much, but keep in mind, like in an hour or 2 hours, it's going to hit you. You know what I mean? Like they don't know if they're completely new. They're not going to know.
Well, you
when
tell
it
them
hits
that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
if you're a good bud tender, you tell them that.
Okay, or that's even better. That's even better. That's
Shout
even
out,
better.
Shout out to all the good.
Shout out
buds.
to the
Shout out.
good bud tenders.
For real,
Yeah.
shout outs. But yeah, I always feel like, as soon as it starts to get like political, this is one of the questions that will probably inevitably
Absolutely.
show up. Yeah.
That's why I always mention to people, like, it depends. Everybody's different. It could
Right.
hit you in 30 minutes. It could hit you in an hour and a half. It could
Right.
hit you, you have a window. So people are like, I don't want to wait that long. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to tell you. I don't have anything. I don't have edibles that kick in quicker. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
Oh, no.
Then maybe they
That's
should
fine.
go a different route.
that's,
For
yeah,
real.
you should smoke. You
Yeah.
should smoke. Just light a doob. You're fine.
What would you guys say to people who are still strongly against cannabis?
Do some research.
That's actually a good answer.
I was gonna just say
Do
that's
some
a real good
research.
response.
Like, do some research, because I'm sorry, like, the proof is in the pudding. Like, it's
Right.
there. Do some research.
Well, I would just say, like, you shouldn't, it's nothing.
I do research every day, and I find new
And you
information
find it,
every
right?
single day. I
Right.
found
Good
something
for
out
you.
about. So I found out about sativas, and they contain 100 times more anti-inflammatory properties than an aspirin.
That's,
Dope.
that's interesting.
Essentially meaning that these are good for headaches and stuff.
Well, we can quickly bring up and then talk though, because people discredit its medical purposes.
And that
Yeah,
makes
they
me
do.
sick.
They always do.
Yeah,
it
and
makes
it's-
me sick.
They
I
always
agree.
do. Well, that's what that whole reefer madness thing was about. Like,
Reefer
they've
madness.
scared everybody into thinking that if you smoke it, you're gonna like turn into like some super
Yeah,
crazy
no,
person
they
and
were
like run into
brainwashed.
streets naked and stuff like that.
Right,
So
right.
it's like all this
brainwashed.
nonsense. Yeah.
That's why it is extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
Frustrating because people are very hard-headed when it comes to that. And I still sometimes I feel like it's comical when people get so uptight about it.
So the
Because-
interesting thing, the people that are uptight, they have never done it before, and they don't
Quite possible,
understand
right.
what's going on, what takes place there. You know what I mean? Some people literally take it for anxiety, ADHD, and stuff like that, so they won't be crazy, so they can mellow out a little
Well,
bit.
exactly. Getting back to medical purposes, war vets who suffer from PTSD
Yeah, post traumatic stress. Yeah,
Yep.
use it, and that's very beneficial. Athletes
athletes
you don't
take
know
it. Yeah,
The amount
There's
of
stuff-
number of athletes,
And
that
that's the
use it.
thing too. You can grow plants specifically for things like this. Like, there are some plants grown specifically for stress relief, specifically for anxiety relief,
now
specifically
that's
for
very interesting.
ailments. Oh yeah, there's a sour tsunami is one that we had for a little bit, and that is grown specifically for its high CBD properties.
See, that would be great.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm
so,
all about
and that's
the CBD.
that's the whole other world is CBD. CBD is a
Right.
whole other
Yeah.
like fun world.
Yep. Another medical purpose. Cannabis is very beneficial to people or children who suffer from seizures.
Yep.
Right.
Parkinson's, stuff
Right.
like that.
It's the CBD,
Tremors.
right?
It's that, and it's just calming. It calms your body. That's the whole it's
It does. It, like you had mentioned too, most people that suffer from different forms of anxiety and depression may use cannabis, and it works for
Mhm.
those.
Right.
what
it
I'm
feels
saying?
like a deep breath for me when
Absolutely.
when I take a hit and I exhale, it literally, like, not even literally breathing breathing out and exhaling, but
Right.
it feels like,
Yeah, it washes over
yeah,
you.
it's just I can't
Right.
I mean, like, if you know, but like if you don't know, I can't explain it to you. It's one of those things I wish I could bottle up and give to people so they can experience it too, because it's just so shitty to me that people don't see the good in it.
Well, sometimes you just gotta ignore them. I mean, if they're willing to take part of it, if it's legal in their place,
Oh yeah, you
Then-
can't force it
yeah,
on
you
people.
can't force it. But if it happens,
But it's
I've
just
noticed-
sad,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I've noticed more people that are initially reticent Once they take it, they're just like, oh my God.
Like, what have I been
what
doing?
have I been doing with
yeah,
my life
literally. That's what
before
everybody
this?
says. Like, oh, what have I been doing? And it's like, well,
exactly.
You know,
it's-
I don't know what you've been doing. You haven't been smoking. That's what you've been doing. Not smoking.
I mean, no, it's. I mean, you take that.
Take one to the
yeah,
head.
it's
Feel
literally.
good about yourself.
Hello world.
Hello world. I'm ready for ya.
This is awesome, but we're gonna take a quick break.
For real.
But,
Sounds good.
Perfect.
But before we do that, we want to remind all our listeners to please find us on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and Google. And by using one or all of those platforms, please subscribe, follow, leave a comment on one of the platform pages, and click that 5-star rating.
Please.
These quick little clicks help support us and the podcast immensely. So, with that being said, we'll be right back. So I have a question for our listeners out there. Do you own a computer? Are you having trouble with broken screens, data backup issues, password reset problems, virus spyware removal, software installation issues? If so, Slipstream Repair Computer Electronic Solutions has you covered. Contact Timothy Latunde at 845-204-1712. The email is ss.sho16@gmail.com. Once again, that is 845-204-1712. And the email is ss.sho16@gmail.com. Call or email to schedule a free consultation. Welcome back to It's All Relative. Still with us in studio is D-Rock.
D-Rock.
Hello.
Now, it seems as if cannabis is pretty much quote-unquote legal to some degree everywhere.
Right.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. All right.
The places that matter.
Yeah.
Right. A recent poll shows that 68% of Americans feel that cannabis should be legal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into that. Question for both of you.
Sure.
What are your views, thoughts, and opinions about legalization?
I think it should be legalized 100%, recreationally and medically, because I feel like it helps people in both ways.
You mean everywhere?
Like everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like across the board.
Right.
Okay.
Like like federally.
Cool.
Yeah. I 100% back that up.
I'm going to have
Okay.
to agree, bro.
Yeah.
As a person, at least when I was in California,
Mm-hmm.
where it was a little bit easier to get it, made me feel great. And I'm a person that chronically has to deal with having ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's kind of funny. I don't really care too much about the THC part of it, but like the CBD balances me out every
Yeah.
single time.
Like I even use CBD regularly too, along with like THC. And
Right,
when I was like a teenager, when I was like 18, 19, I was using tinctures like regularly.
Really? That's
Regularly.
interesting.
Yeah, like the high CBD tinctures. Yeah, I
Wow.
was using them quite regularly.
hmm
I'm a huge fan of that stuff too.
That's interesting because it didn't necessarily exist. I mean, I was obviously that type of teenager, but
Yeah.
it didn't exist at like CBD as a product. But at the same time, I mean, there's still a little bit in what you get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it still helped out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
it's nice because I feel like it's a similar thing that THC gives you, but it's not you don't feel high because it's not psychoactive.
Right.
And I think that helps a lot of people because I think the part of, people are like, oh, I'm going to get like fucked up.
No.
And I think that thought is what scares a lot of people away from like smoking and from THC. I feel like they're expecting it to be a lot different than what it actually is. You know what I mean?
Right. The
I feel
madness
like-
part of reefer madness.
Yeah, that's what I feel like a lot of people think it fucks you up more and does differently than what it actually does.
right. Yeah, it's a lot less than what you think it is.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly.
It's usually the anxiety that you carry along with it.
Yeah, you feel nice. You just feel
right. When you use CBD products, you get the benefits of
everything.
Right. But you don't feel high.
Right.
I just think it helps everybody. It helps the community. It brings in revenue. It brings in jobs. It brings in the education aspect, because like I educate people daily at work on everything, on basic stuff, on on complex things. I'm their source of it. It would bring a lot of good things to every community.
Not to mention money.
For sure.
Revenue. Exactly. It's gonna bring it brings in a lot.
Right.
A lot.
You're
Like a lot of money.
You were mentioning that you have to teach people and acquire the knowledge. Is that stuff that you picked up along the way, or did they teach you along the
So
way?
they definitely encourage us to like educate and research on our own,
Okay.
which is something that I think all of us do kind of anyway in our
Right.
own time.
Right.
Like I look up every strain that we get. I like to know everything about it. I like to know the parents. I like to know all that stuff.
That's
because
interesting. So
I
you
like
went
to-
above and beyond.
I like to know all about it.
It shows that you love and care.
And there's
about-
there's so much to learn.
right.
Like
I
I'll
believe
look
it.
up one thing and I'll see something else and I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is. And I'll Google that and I'm like, oh wow, that's something completely different. And like my biggest thing is if customers ask me something and I'm like, I don't know, I make sure that I Google it with them and I make sure that I like know it for the next time I get asked that. Like anytime I get asked a question, that's what I make sure I do, because I
Okay.
don't like to not have
Right.
an answer.
Right. It sounds like they should keep you. They better keep you there forever. Yeah,
They do,
'cause
yeah.
That's
do.
going above and beyond.
They do
Yeah.
enjoy. Yeah, I'm very good at it and I enjoy it. So
Yeah.
it makes it much easier when you enjoy it.
Right. Right.
D-Rock, employee of the month.
Yeah, employee of the month. Employee of the
Maybe.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
I try. Everybody's really good though. It's not just me.
Okay.
I feel as if cannabis has just been surrounded by lies and such a negative aura about it.
The stigma.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's mainly by those who aren't educated
Yep.
about
I
it.
agree.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like it's very important to tell people to do your research, bro.
It's my biggest thing is like look it up if you don't know. Another thing, me personally with mine, I look for stuff for anxiety. I look for stuff for depression, because those are the strains that I deal with. Those things I want relief from them, so
Right.
I look for stuff.
Right.
That,
You would give
that
them
has
something that you would want to give
So
to yourself.
when
Anyways.
people come in and they're like, oh, what would you recommend for anxiety? What would you recommend for this? What would you recommend for muscle pain? Like there are strains grown for specific things, which is like I like to know what strains. Like there's 3 strains that are for like muscle pain relief, joint relief. There's specific strains for depression relief. There's specific strains for stress relief. So that's just my biggest thing. I like to know.
Do you have this written down for when you tell people?
Sometimes, if I have the time,
Okay.
I do like to make little cheat sheets.
Okay.
So I have something to grab to kind of like go through and be like, oh, this one has this. Like I'll go through, I'll write the name, the percentage, whether it's a sativa, indica, or a hybrid, and like effects that it has. So
Right. Superior question for you. Do you try all these out to make sure what you're
I
telling them is
try.
that?
I try to try a few. I
Okay.
can't, obviously, like with money and bills and being an
true
adult.
True enough.
I can't try everything.
Okay.
I like to pick one that speaks that grabs me,
Right.
and I like to try that.
Okay.
So I like to just kind of go through and see the names and whatever kind of jumps out at me. And if people have a hard time picking stuff, I'm like, just go with whatever name you like. Just pick what name you like.
Pick a name.
That's kind of
Sometimes that works.
and that's what people are like, oh yeah, this one, I really like this one. And I'm like, yeah, so go with that one. Whatever one speaks to you, that's what I tell people. If you can't pick, if there's too many options, just whatever name is like, I'll take that one. If it speaks to you,
you'd
take
be
it.
surprised,
Right.
like the names people,
Yeah.
people definitely jump on certain
Because they're cool.
weird
Some names
yeah.
are cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Some are pretty awesome, and it's just like, all right, I'll just try that.
oh,
Yeah.
I smoke this. Like, this is
Yeah.
the name. I love the names. I think the names are one of the best parts about it. I
Right.
think they're so cool.
They can get ridiculous.
They get
sometimes, though.
ridiculous.
Yeah, like, what's going on
Yeah,
with
they
these
do.
names?
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
But oddly enough, they're all legit real
Yeah.
life strains.
Yep.
Right.
you
And
know,
they're
that's-
all different and they're all good for different things.
exactly. We were
So,
getting back to doing research and having different strains that focus or hit on different points. People who suffer from eating disorders
It's interesting.
There are strains that, purposely, obviously, most people know that, like, when you smoke, many different strains give you the munchies.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So people who have trouble eating or don't have an appetite or need to put on some meat.
Yeah.
There are some for appetite stimulation. There's some that like don't make you get munchies.
Exactly.
Really, the reverse.
Yeah.
See, which then all boils down to which we say, like, it's very important to do your research because, people think about people who use cannabis, they tend to think about, like burnouts.
Right.
Just like, just like lazy ass people who just kick it on the couch and just eat and
do nothing and just smoke weed.
And smoke weed all day.
Do nothing. Don't work.
That's
nothing.
completely false because if people really knew the dead ass
stoners
truth,
are some badass people, man. We get our shit done. It might take us a little bit, but we get our shit done.
Just as hardworking.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. People would be surprised that like people legitly can get shit done, like you were saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm and still use. Like I said, people would be surprised.
That's like I was saying before. It makes me really sad. There's just such like an ignorant outlook on it. Our biggest thing is trying to like end this negative stigma. So
that's going to be difficult. Good luck.
We try to use like different terms. So we don't really use like we try not to use weed.
Cannabis.
Yeah, we try to use cannabis. We say buds. We say flower. We try to use nice words to kind of get away from like that nasty ugly look on cannabis.
Right.
We try to bring a nice vibe to it.
Right.
And I think it definitely does help. I think people come in and they see what it is and they see what it's like, and I think they feel a little differently about the whole thing. You know what I mean? I feel like some people just kind of need to see it for themselves and to kind of experience it, and that comes into the whole like bad outlook thing.
Well, let me ask you a question then.
Sure.
More about the actual the store, the dispensary that you work at.
Yeah.
How does it look when you come in?
It's really cool. We actually have on the Instagram and on the Facebook, they did like a live tour. But you walk in and you go into the bubble. We call it the bubble, but it's like the intake vestibule. So you get your ID checked in there, and then we let you into the facility. And it's like a really open concept, like a barn farmhouse kind of style.
Okay, interesting.
It fits perfectly into like the whole atmosphere of Sheffield. It's nice. But it's a really nice open concept, really high ceilings.
Okay.
And it's very clean.
Very
clean and modern. Yeah,
right.
It's very we have like display tables set up, like old wood tables set up with the displays, and there's little things and like devices and product packages and stuff in it, so you can kind of see what stuff looks like. And then there's one display. Shout out to Pisces and Orbits Crystals on Instagram. My manager Michaela, that is her Instagram. I actually just bought a blue lace agate from her. So if you're into crystals, you should totally check out her Instagram. She does sell them and she does shipping.
Shout out.
So
Shout outs for real.
Definitely should check that out if you're into it. But we have one of her displays set up with her stuff in there. So she's got all kinds of crystals, all kinds of palm stones and stuff like that.
So it has like a clean feeling when you go in.
Yeah,
like a
it
really
does.
Refreshing feeling.
And then we have displays at the register with like glass, and then displays that's at the pre-order, and then displays at the Rex have glass and product in them.
Okay.
You have a big glass selection?
We have a pretty nice amount of glass right now. We got a lot of nice stuff in. It's
Interesting.
pretty.
Nice.
It's so pretty.
Is it like imported, or do you have somebody that's making the glass here?
I think it's all like local wholesalers.
Wow, even
yeah,
better.
we do.
Helping out the
I'm
community.
pretty sure everything is from around Massachusetts. I'm not exactly sure where. I know we did start ordering from new places, but I think everything is local.
Okay, shout out.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's dope. I would definitely shout out to anybody who blows glass.
Oh, of course.
Like, that's
Yeah,
a
that
skill,
stuff is
man.
crazy.
Now
Yeah,
that
you
I
guys
got a
got
show for
skill.
both of you then on Netflix.
I think
Blown away.
I've watched that before. That show
That
is
shit is
crazy.
tight. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That shit is amazing, bro. You have to watch it.
Yeah.
You have to.
It's a good show. It's
a good
very
show.
cool.
So, as of now, present day,
Present day.
there are 15 states that have legalized marijuana for both medical and recreational purposes.
Yes.
Okay. These states are Alaska, Arizona, California, Colorado, District of Columbia, Illinois, Maine, Massachusetts, Michigan, Montana, New Jersey,
Skipped.
Nevada,
Jesus.
Oregon, South Dakota, Vermont, and Washington.
Not bad.
The state of Washington.
Eclectic group.
Okay, so those are the 15 states that have legalized both.
Both.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now there are 20 states that have legalized just medical.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where, New York is one of them. There's Arkansas, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Hawaii, Louisiana, Maryland, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, New Hampshire, New Mexico, New York,
Yeah.
North Dakota,
Sound a little more
The
enthusiastic
saddest
there,
note, for
Josh.
real. Zero enthusiasm.
Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Utah, and West Virginia.
Did you say New Jersey on the other list?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say because I know they just legalized too, or they're on the. They're like
Yeah, they're right on the
they're
train.
on there. Yeah,
I believe as of Monday, February 22nd.
Yeah.
Which is they
I think so.
it had finally
That's
passed,
awesome.
Shout
which-
outs to Jersey.
Shout outs
Exactly.
to Jersey. Congrats, guys.
Yeah, man, what a excellent day for those
For
people in
real.
New Jersey. Shout out, New York, take note.
Dead ass.
For
Come
real.
on,
Um,
get with the program.
Should
I
have got with the
mean-
program like 15 years ago.
Absolutely,
Deadass.
we should have been one of the first ones. I definitely agree with that. Not to mention that we're about to be surrounded by
Yeah.
Everybody,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
We're like the only part of the tri-state area that
there's
hasn't gotten to
not
it.
much left. You just,
Yeah.
just say
Come on.
yes. Just come on.
Right.
Like,
Come on.
And it's kind of funny because it feels like the rest of the U.S.
mhm.
and then therefore the rest of the world is kind of like waiting on New York. In a
That's
way.
what I feel like too.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. It's
Right.
like a pause
Right,
because
it's
it's
like
like,
a
oh, what
pause.
are they gonna do?
right.
And it's like, why are you waiting for us? Make your own decision. Just do it.
For
Just
real.
legalize
Just,
it.
just go
do
about it. Yeah.
I know, right? I think the benefits
Eventually.
the benefits outweigh.
Yeah.
they
Def
just
in
need-
so many ways, like in so many ways.
Like just taxing it to shit.
That's what. Well, that's
You
what
know
I'm
what I
saying.
mean?
Like just the money,
Money from that
the money
alone.
in general should be enough for everybody to want to do it. Just the thought of the money in
Mhm.
general.
It's interesting because that's kind of like how Colorado was. Like I remember
Exactly.
watching Colorado intently
Yeah.
and I think they even legalized it during a Republican senator or a Republican person that was.
I
that was
think.
running the
Yeah. I
place.
think
Yeah.
that's what it was too.
Right. And they were so initially against it. And then they allowed it in. I think there was always the fear about like college kids, like selling it to kids.
That's
on the street
all.
and
That's
stuff,
all it ever is.
and all that fear. And then afterwards, it's like, oh, okay, they like it now.
Oh, look how much money it made.
Look how much money. Exactly. Look how much money it's making now.
like
Yeah, let's be a purple state now, and make
like
sure this stays
Massachusetts
in.
is 20. It's 20% cannabis tax. Like
Right.
that's people pay 20%. Medical. That's
still pay.
recreational. Medical patients pay 10%.
That's not bad.
No, but
I didn't even know taxes even would factor in like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
So we do. It's two. It's like the cannabis tax, which is 10%, and then the other half is decided by like where
The
the
usage.
community of where the dispensary is. It's the local area,
Interesting.
but they determine the other half of the tax. So ours is 20%.
Right.
So it's 10 and 10.
Damn.
Yeah, it's great, and it splits it on the receipt too. That's how I know it's 10 and 10.
Right.
Yeah, I think once these states, once everyone just gets on board and says that it's legal, I think it would open up a lot more doors. People would be a lot more accepting towards it because I think one main reason why people are so uptight about it is because it's still, at least for us here,
Illegal.
in New York, quote unquote, it's
Essentially
still
illegal.
illegal for recreation.
I mean, if you're
So-
thinking about it federally, it's still illegal.
right.
No matter where
Yeah,
you go.
exactly.
So, but yeah, I'm just curious on once it is finally legal, then those people who use that as, the reasoning for why they're against
It, right.
you
What happens
know,
when
you
that's
can't-
taken away?
Exactly. you
What's
can't-
your reason now?
Exactly.
Right.
So,
Well, hurry it up, Cuomo. Figure it out. we need your boy to figure it
Hard.
out.
all right, we need to get on it.
You're
Yeah.
killing us over here.
They'll get it.
They'll get it.
So, for both of you, then, why do you think some states only have legalized it for medical purposes? Why not recreational? Just
Because I feel like I feel like in a way it's kind of easier to look at it as medicine.
Sure.
I feel like it kind of weirds people out to kind of compare it to like a liquor store. I feel like it's too normal, like too regular for them. You
Right.
know what I mean?
It's kind of interesting.
Does
you
that make
saying that.
sense?
Yeah,
like
it
I
makes
feel
sense.
in a way I feel like that could be part of it.
Right.
Just because I feel like it's easier to be like, oh yeah, it's just kind of like a pharmacy, like they're just going to get their medicine. And in a way, it's like with us, it's like, oh, it's like a liquor store, like they can just go in and pick it up and go home.
Well, you still can't do that. You still need ID though.
Well, yeah, but it's like a liquor store. You need
Right.
ID to get into a liquor store.
Right.
You can't just go in and buy a bottle of liquor. You go in on your way home from work. You go to the grocery store. You go pick up a bottle of wine and go home. You go You go to the store. You stop and get an eighth, and you go home. You know what I mean? Like it's the same. So I feel like that kind of scares people. I feel like in a way it's very like real, and it's like, oh my god, like cannabis is really like here. It's legal. So
it's gonna get you the cannabis.
So I feel like medical. It's easier for people to look at it that way.
Yeah, I can see it that way. I mean, I've always thought that. Like you were about to say, I always thought that it being medical was kind of like they're in to trying to get it legalized on a higher. I don't think the medical recreational thing shouldn't really matter.
I don't think so.
But it's a nice way to, because it does have medicinal purposes.
It does, yeah, and I agree 100%. If you can get a medical card, that's awesome. I'm happy for people that can get it because I tried and they just kind of told me it was too expensive and to just keep getting it the way I was getting it. Both doctors that I tried it. So I really I'm happy for people that can get it because I tried and a bitch couldn't get it. Yeah,
how you feel about California then? That in Cali they just basically you just find a doctor that does it.
Yeah,
$90, here you go.
Yeah, and I mean, whatever.
So
you got
laid back out there, too.
It is, yeah. Like,
so everything's a lot easier.
We're so late in the game on the East Coast to the cannabis world. Like,
yeah, we are.
But we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yes, we are.
Slowly but surely.
Well, do you guys think that New York will ever legalize for recreational purposes?
I think so.
Oh, definitely.
I think so. I think it's just a matter of time.
Right.
I genuinely think it's just kind of a matter of time.
How long? Give me an estimate.
From what I was hearing earlier couple back in January, I'm thinking like sometime the end of this year.
Oh, really? I was thinking 2024 or 2022.
You think that long?
Yeah, I was thinking that long.
I'm thinking like the end of this year.
Well, even better.
I'm thinking that don't quote me.
Right.
Don't quote me. Don't come after me if it doesn't fucking get legalized by the end of this year because I don't need people coming for me. Well, but I think it could be the end of this year, maybe early next year, maybe early 2022. We'll see.
Right. Well, the last couple of times that Cuomo really did try. It was all these small counties and stuff that were all saying no, and they were all making up like BS reasons for it.
Yeah, like who are you? Go somewhere.
Yeah, go somewhere.
Go back to your farm.
Do you remember some of those reasons why?
One of the reasons that really prevailed was the idea that it's going to be too easily accessible by children. They love to hammer that shit home.
That's literally the biggest.
Oh my
thing.
God, the kids are going to.
They're going to see it. They're going to see it. They're going to want to try it. But it's like, what about cigarettes?
What about
alcohol?
Yeah.
The amount of dumb alcohol commercials that I saw as a kid, do you think if kids see a weed commercial, it's going to be any fucking different than seeing a fucking tequila commercial or a vodka commercial or a beer or a White Claw commercial? Like, come on. You can't argue that with me.
No, you can't.
Like, I'm sorry. You can't argue that. You can't give me that as an excuse that kids are going to get exposed to it because kids are going to get exposed to everything.
Right, you mean kids are already
exposed to everything. Like, you can't argue it.
Right. I think it's everywhere already. So, like, kids, no matter what, kids are smart.
Whether they see it in a commercial or like something like that, or they see it from their friends at school. They're gonna see it.
Exactly.
Like they're gonna see it.
I definitely remember being like 14, 13.
I was really young, yeah.
And
I was
they were
young.
like, yo, bro, you want to smoke a joint?
Yeah,
like,
I was young.
You know what I mean?
Like, what's weed?
Right, what's weed? What is that?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's taking so long for cannabis just to be completely legal everywhere?
People are scared.
Yeah, I could say it's fear, yeah.
I feel like they're afraid. Like I said, it's going back to what I said before. I feel like they expect it to be not what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're expecting more of like not what smoking weed actually does to you. I think they think it does something else.
You smoke a joint and you turn into like a gremlin,
or like you're fucked up and you're stumbling all over the place and you can't talk. I feel like people think it debilitates them. Genuinely, I feel like they think it like genuinely fucks them up to the point of like absolute impairment, and it's not like that.
And it's kind of interesting because usually these people that have this fear, they're never going to try it anyways, even if it is
exactly. And obviously, if you overconsume, it's gonna like if you do too much and you shouldn't, you're obviously gonna feel like shit, and it's not going to be enjoyable.
No, it's not.
But like, I just feel like it all goes into that. I feel like they're just afraid of the regularness that legalizing brings.
Well, you're right. That's where we say. I mean, people got to do their research.
Yeah.
I for myself though, man, I would tell everybody or these people, like, if it was legal, there's not one reason why you shouldn't
Try it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
should
Try
be,
it.
exactly. You would be you're not gonna die from it.
No, you're not.
bet-
It's
I
gonna be
bet my
safer
life-
than drinking.
Exactly.
Right.
You will never
Sleep it off.
die
You'll wake
from
up.
it.
You'll be fine.
All right.
Or take something with less THC.
Yeah. Or take CBD oil so it can counteract the THC and you
For
won't
sure.
feel high anymore.
But experience it, because I believe, my personal thoughts is that it is beneficial to each and every individual.
Yeah.
You just got to find that right level
In different
and
ways.
what works for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You got to
saying?
find the right way to consume and you got to find the right thing for you because there's something for everybody.
Right.
Yep, I agree.
Obviously, like, you can't force it on people. If people don't like it, they don't like it. But there's one thing to, like, try it and genuinely know you don't like it and just be like, oh no, I don't like weed. Like, just there's a difference.
I've known a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh my God, the weed made
like,
me
oh my god,
crazy.
weed.
It's like, all right,
and
relax,
it's like, just
guy.
take it easy.
Just relax,
like,
yeah.
try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Try it in
Like
a more
I said,
chill position.
I have totally had bad highs. I know they're a thing. I know they're real, and I've had them, but it's never been bad enough to turn me away and make me be like, oh, I'm never smoking weed again. I hate weed. It's it's horrible. It's
I hate
never
it.
ever done that to me.
Yeah, that's an extreme.
It's never done that to me.
What an evil thing. I'll never do it again.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, one of the most annoying responses is when people complain. The only reason why they are against it or don't like it because they complain about the smell.
That too.
To me, I don't
Oh my God.
understand that, and
that drives me nuts.
that is irritating to me.
It's interesting,
too,
though.
because I don't understand
Yeah.
why.
That's literally like that is my biggest peeve about it. When
Right?
people tell me it's the smell, I'm like, dude, do you know? Like, light a candle, burn some incense.
They got fans for it too.
You got
now.
fans for it. Open a freaking window and get over the smell.
Right.
Like, come on.
Right, I agree. I
That's
don't
like not
understand.
cooking stuff because it smells funny when you're cooking it. That's literally like
Right.
you're not gonna cook it because it smells while you're cooking it.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
I love the smell of weed. I don't understand how
the most
people
beautiful
don't. It's
smell.
the best smell. I wish I could have candles that smelled like
Do
certain
they not
strains.
have candles like
I
this?
don't know, but they should. And if they don't, that's definitely something that somebody should like get into is making like cannabis strain candles.
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
I would buy the shit out of those.
I would think
like-
I would think that they would already
Yeah.
make those.
Yeah, I
would
think so.
yeah, I would literally like, oh my God, the amount of money I would spend on candles. Oh my God.
You are heavily invested into this.
Yeah, I am. I would totally, I'm all about it because I dream about that. I would absolutely die for a candle that smells like
Well,
that.
you're well on the way.
Right
Yeah,
on.
I'm.
Shout
I'm
outs to
so,
whoever's making
I'm
candles.
so weird, but it's such a nice smell.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a nice smell.
I agree. I mean, I don't have an issue with it.
I'm all
Like,
about it.
Yeah, but some people do. Some
Yeah, and
people
I
are
get
very-
it. Like I said, it's not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody. But I use a volcano vaporizer anymore.
How is the volcano experience versus just
I
like
love
smoking?
it. I think it's great.
Okay.
I think it's a little bit of a different high. I feel like it's definitely like more of in a body feel
right?
than anything.
Could you at least explain how it is for the people out there?
So basically the volcano, it's got like a base, and then you attach. There's like a little chamber piece that you unscrew, and you fill the chamber with the ground up bud,
Mhm.
and then you screw it back on, and then you attach it to the bag, and you put it on top, and you press the button, and it heats up, and the bag fills up with smoke,
Uh-huh.
and then you take it off. You swap out the chamber for the mouthpiece, and then you just you inhale until the bag is not filled with smoke anymore, and
Very
then you
interesting.
fill it back up with smoke.
And then do it all over
And
again.
you just keep going until you're done. It's
not
fun.
bad.
I love the volcano. I think it's great.
So let me ask you, what do you
Sorry?
what do you prefer? I mean, let's break it down.
Oh,
You
man.
like joints, blunts,
I like-
bowls, bongs.
I'm gonna be honest.
So many tools to use.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't care?
Um,
Even better.
So I will smoke whatever. I just like to smoke. My personal true preference, if if I had it my own way, I like joints, I like bongs.
Okay.
I'm a big glass person. I just don't. I will smoke blunts. I don't mind blunts at all. But I just prefer more. I like to taste the cannabis more than like a blunt wrap.
Okay.
So I feel like with joints, I've obviously like you can taste the paper like a little bit, but it's not. It doesn't really deter the flavor too much for me.
Right, but it somehow takes away from it just a
it
little
does
bit.
take away from it a little bit. I just like joints because I'm trying to get away from smoking cigarettes. So joints for me kind of help because they sort of mimic in a way. Like the day that I can walk around smoking a joint like I can smoke a cigarette is the day that I will confidently never buy a pack of cigarettes again. I'm gonna be like 100% honest. I know that probably sounds pathetic, and probably sounds pathetic to people that don't smoke cigarettes. But if you smoke cigarettes, you get it. I don't know. That's just me.
Would you say the consumption level of cigarettes has gone down since you've gotten a little bit more heavy into cannabis?
I think my cigarette smoking has gone up a little bit because I haven't been able to smoke cannabis.
Well, shame on you.
Shame on me, definitely. 100%. It sucks. But I unfortunately, due to living where I live and stuff, I can't consume as much as I'd love to. But yeah, if I could smoke a joint like I can smoke my cigarette, I would be really content. But unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to try to quit to smoke cigarettes again.
All right, Cuomo's got to get on the job. ASAP.
Yeah, for real. And I need to quit smoking cigarettes.
That's all right.
If anybody has tips, feel free to reach out and let me know.
Actually,
no, seriously, because I need tips.
I smoked cigarettes for like 10 years and whatnot, and I quit using Chantix.
Chantix?
Is that the gum or is that the patch?
No, not the gum.
Because I wanted to try the gum. Oh, it was a pill.
And like the medication, you can still smoke while you take this.
Yeah.
While you take the medicine.
So it's not even like a cold turkey.
No, not at all. The medicine actually makes these cigarettes end up tasting like shit.
See, that I already do. It's just like a fixation for me.
And then you don't really want to, because you'll get to the point where you'll think you'll want one, so you'll light it up, and then after your first pull or drag, whatnot, you're gonna be like, "Oh, it tastes so bad. I don't even want it."
You don't even want it anymore. It's interesting.
And then eventually, the only negative side effects to that thing is that a lot of people say that Chantix gives you some crazy, wild, bad dreams.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not surprised.
Like nightmare level?
Yeah. Some
Jesus.
extreme, crazy things that you don't really experience when you're not. That's not a normal nightmare.
Right.
But for me, luckily, I didn't go through that. So
that's awesome.
Shout outs for you said 10 years?
For real. Good for you, Josh.
Yeah, actually.
Appreciate that. I mean, it's been a while too. I haven't touched that in, I don't know.
Good for you. I feel like a dick every time I light a cigarette. So
it's been like 5 years. Right. 5 years now.
Damn, 5? Okay, I thought it was 10. 5 though.
Well, I mean, I smoked for 10 years.
Oh.
I smoked for 10 years.
And you've been okay.
I quit. It's been about 5 years.
Shout outs for 5
years.
Yeah,
for real. Shout out. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's a day or an hour or 10 years or however long. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Nicotine's a tough thing to
it really is.
Kick
as we can see over here. Shame on you. You better cut it down.
Shame on me.
But getting back to the whole cannabis thing and legalization, I think that there will always be some form of limitations.
Oh, absolutely.
So I don't necessarily agree, or I don't think we could 100% say that it's totally going to be free or legal ever.
No,
you don't think so?
Won't.
No, because once again, I think there's always going to be a set.
It's always going to be
law or limitation, like
heavily regulated.
Right. If they say, okay, New York, it's totally legal now. Like you can smoke whatever recreationally. So everyone's like, oh, that's awesome, that's dope, right?
Right.
But there's still going to be some rules and laws to where, like, even the states that are able to use it for recreational purposes and medical purposes,
right?
They still have limitations on the, like, state by state is different, but they can only grow or have a certain amount of plants.
It's interesting.
Yeah. You can only drive or have on your body
only a certain
amount, right? And every state is different. But that's still a limitation.
Right. So I was reading a couple of reports, even up in Canadian reports where they legalized it everywhere. And
Shout out to Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, shout outs for real. For real. For real. But the gist of it is that like the whole black market operation, you know, like the weed dealer on the corner and stuff.
That's another conversation
Apparently that
topic.
went up. Yeah. Apparently that went up as legalization happened because, you know, they're controlling all the prices and they're making the prices ridiculous or the potency isn't there. So the whole let's call it black market, the whole black market hustle
they want to
went
like
up.
term it a certain way. We
They
were talking
do.
about that at work one day, how they want to call it like the consumer and then the something market. They don't want to call it black market anymore. They have like
It's interesting.
there's
Like new terminology all over.
Yeah, they don't want to call it. They want to do consumer, which is like dispensaries, and then something else, which is like
Then the
street
other
stuff.
Yeah,
the other category.
Shout outs to the other.
Shout out to the other.
Yeah, but
Well, I'm a little old school, so I'm gonna just say that there's always going to be a black market.
yeah.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
sure,
It's
for
never gonna go away.
For sure.
Exactly. So, which does make sense though too, just because things, which is cool. Like, I'm all for. I 100% support and agree with dispensaries. Like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
pass,
Yeah.
like the pass. I support that thing. I'm all for it.
Yeah, me
I think
too.
it's dope what you guys are doing. I just in dispensaries. You know, in general, their products and everything, it's cool because, like we said, it's legal, so you can go there and purchase things legally. Things are pricey,
They are pricey. But at
which
the same
then leads to the
black
talk
market.
about
Yeah,
black
the
market
turn
of-
away.
But the good thing about dispensaries that ain't no black market dealer going to sit to the side and teach you about cannabis at all. They just looking for the quick buck. Whereas, I mean,
And they can tell you they know
and
where
they can
it's
tell
from,
you they
but
know
not
everything.
all cases they know where it's from. So at
Exactly.
least like I literally tell people it came from right back
it came
there.
from right back
It
there.
came from right there, 20
Right.
feet away. You could see the plate. You could see where it came from when you go to your car.
Right. So that is the benefit
And that's
for having
exactly
you guys.
what everybody says.
Right.
They're like the biggest benefit is being able to say like, oh
Right.
my God, it's literally from there. Like
Right.
I know exactly where it grew.
Even
you know?
even the
And
fact
that's-
that you can talk about dosage and stuff like that too.
exactly. I think that's the biggest appeal to people in dispensaries like us where they're vertically integrated. I think that's the biggest benefit and what people like is that they know where it's coming from.
Right.
Right.
You know?
If you can
Right.
make,
There's some control.
Yeah.
right, if you can make someone feel safe and completely comfortable knowing
Exactly.
that
And
giving them
whatever they're gonna
knowledge, too.
take, exactly.
Mhm.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a big deal. It makes people more comfortable.
Right.
Like I don't ever want people to be anxious and uncomfortable when they're with me or anybody at any of us as bud tenders. Like we do not want people to feel like that when they come in. I'm like, don't be nervous. You're fine.
take me by
I
the
love
hand.
popping dispensary cherries
real.
too. It's our favorite thing when people come in and they're
Interesting.
first timers. I love popping cherries.
Wow.
Dispensary cherries. It's great.
Do you guys have a lot of you guys busy?
We
Yeah.
honestly we do pretty good business. There are
Nice.
some days are much slower than others. I feel like weekdays are definitely a little bit slower, but weekends have been cray, and especially with the nice weather, I'm so excited for it to get busy again.
Right.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited.
You expecting people from all over the place.
Oh hell yeah! Especially when the nice weather comes and all. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Wow.
It's a beautiful place to be. Even just like the outside stuff, like just being around. There's so many places to hike and just trails and stuff to go to. Beautiful places to be, places to eat. It's nice, and it's gonna be even like nicer when it gets nice out.
Kind of like a little piece of Colorado over there in Maine. too.
Yeah, it's
I-
the Berkshires.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna say that sounds like a perfect setting because most people that partake and use whatever form of cannabis they so choose, that sounds like an awesome setting because most people want to just do what they do and then enjoy, being
outside.
Outside.
is
That's
something
kind of why I
beautiful.
like the logo a lot. Yeah, shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Berkshires.
For real.
Yeah, man, we want
Them
t-shirts.
beautiful
Yeah, we
Berkshires.
definitely want t-shirts.
Absolutely. I'll keep you guys in touch about it. I'll be in
Hell
touch
yeah.
about it.
Do you guys think pharmaceutical companies want cannabis to stay illegal?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. 100%.
I actually think the opposite.
You
Okay.
do?
I think the opposite because it's actually bullshit. They actually want in on the game. For
See,
sure.
I could see they want it on the game for the money aspect.
for the money aspect. Them and as well as liquor companies. A lot of liquor
Oh.
companies. I've been hearing
I
that they've
didn't
been
think
trying
about
to
that.
like. As far
Well,
as
Pabst Blue Ribbon actually made a THC seltzer.
there you go.
I was Googling stuff yesterday.
go.
Pabst Blue Ribbon came out with a 5 milligram THC
Right.
alcohol-free seltzer. So clearly, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's totally there. definitely see your point now.
Right.
That's actually really cool for Pabst.
Yeah, it's dope.
Because
It's like lemon lime or something. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Pabst beer is shit.
You just wanted to say it was garbage.
So
Yeah,
like
it's garbage.
Shout outs to that beer.
them coming
Shout
out with
out
the
to Pabst.
THC drink
Yeah.
thing, though, that's dope.
That may be their avenue,
I was
their new
looking it
avenue.
up.
Absolutely, good for them.
For real.
It's dope. It's a nice step into that. People need to see it.
Yeah.
So for you, Tim, though, you said that for pharmaceutical companies, you think it was because of money?
So I feel like a lot of these companies, they want to be, because when it comes to like stock market and stuff, they try to like keep these companies at bay until they can get their in. Whether it's like either taken apart at like some part of the chain, like either through growing or at the manufacturer, that they're trying to find their way in. So when they start lobbying and stuff, they at least try to like keep some distance until they got time to come in. But it's like a different conversation. But
Right.
they definitely want to be part of the money.
Some level of control?
Some level of control.
Okay.
Like they
Yeah.
want some level of control either at manufacturing or growing
Gotcha.
or something like that.
I feel like that comes into play with all the regulation stuff.
Exactly. So they
Too. I feel like it goes hand in hand.
right. So honestly, they really are just waiting to see if it becomes federal.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, all these companies, pharmaceutical and everything, they're gonna all of a sudden be like the best
Yeah.
at pushing this thing. Yeah, definitely, it has to.
Yeah.
That's just how money works, honestly.
No, and it's true. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah,
We'll see.
we'll see.
We'll see.
Get on it,
only
Cuomo.
Only time will tell
Yeah.
at this point.
Absolutely. You got any more questions?
No more questions,
For
brother.
D-Rock?
Shout outs to D-Rock, honestly.
Shout outs to you
Absolutely.
guys.
Thank you. I
This is
appreciate
dope.
that.
I'm so excited to be a part of this.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So
Of
real quick,
course.
right before we finish, let's hit this real quick. D-Rock, give me
Yes.
your, and same for you, Tim, so you
Mm-hmm.
can think about it. Give me your top 2, top 3. If you can't think of it, give me your top 1. Get best stoner smoker movies.
Oh man.
Damn.
Oh shit.
Or one that you enjoy or one that you'll never forget.
All right, so I got
Yeah.
one. Mac and Devin go to high school.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a great one.
I love The New Guy.
Okay.
I fucking love that
I respect
movie.
it.
I totally love that movie.
Wait, with the
You looking confused.
the skinny white boy?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, The New Guy. Yeah.
Wow.
I love that movie. My sister showed me that movie when I was like 8 years old, and it has been my favorite movie ever since.
Oh, so you
I've
just like
seen
the
it.
movie.
I've loved that movie
Oh,
forever.
And
Yeah.
now it's further enhanced.
And another good one is How High.
Okay,
Yeah,
How High's pretty
absolutely.
okay.
How High's a
Yeah,
good movie.
yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out.
Have you ever watched Mac and Devin go to high school?
I have not.
Oh, you-
Yeah,
oh, you need to
Academic
get
Go High
onto it,
School is
sir.
a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
You should watch it. Oh, Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express
Yeah.
is a good fucking movie.
For sure.
Pineapple Express was great.
Yeah.
I like all the older classics.
Right.
Like,
Me too.
Fridays.
Super
Friday,
bad.
Superbad.
Superbad was
Harold
dope.
and Kumar.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Harold and Kumar's. Oh,
See, that was my favorite. If
Mhm.
I had to think of one, I would definitely the first Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. I think
Yes.
is one of my
It's a sick movie.
top,
it's a good movie.
top 5 influential movies of my life.
Really? Of your
Yeah.
life?
Yeah, because I feel like at a certain point in your age, when you're growing up, like I was in college and whatnot, like that movie was so important because I feel like as young adults and whatnot, everybody at some point with a friend or a certain person, everyone experiences a night like that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Everybody
Very true.
goes through it, and that movie was just so. They just go through so much bad shit, and then like all
Bullshit all day.
all they want is just to get some burgers.
Burgers.
Yeah,
Where's
for
the White
real.
Castle at? I'm
And
tired of all
like,
this
you
bullshit.
know, but it's cool though, because like even though they go through all that, they finally get it. You
Yep.
know, so
And then when they finally have the first bite, all is
yeah.
well.
So
Yep.
that is my favorite, stoner movie
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. Half Baked's a classic.
Oh,
Half
Half
Baked's
Baked
pretty
is a
lit, yeah.
classic.
It's pretty cool.
Grandma's Boy.
Wow, Grandma's Boy. Shout outs to
It's a
Grandma's
ni-
Boy.
Shout outs to Grandma's Boy. It's
Damn,
a
old
great
school.
movie.
That one's super important to me too.
Absolutely.
Really?
Grandma's Boy is
Yeah.
iconic.
That one's amazing.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
I'm trying to think of more too. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
You already said Friday, didn't you?
Yeah, Dazed and Confused.
Oh, Friday.
Oh, Dazed and Confused. Shout outs
Oh,
to that.
Dazed and Confused. Yeah. Oh shit.
Old school as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, all the Fridays.
American Pie.
American. Yeah. I
They're
see it.
no, they're just
can
just
see
an
it.
old classic.
Have
Oh,
you ever seen
actually-
the show Weeds?
Yes,
Okay.
I've seen the show.
Yes,
Weeds.
that's a good show.
But back to American Pie. When you were asking me way back how many famous people I've met.
Yeah.
I've met the dad of the main character,
Eugene Levy?
Eugene Levy. I met Eugene Levy. Yeah, it was.
Oh my God,
yeah.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Where?
dope.
This was like, oh man, this was like in L.A. This man.
Oh
was
my
like,
God,
he was
that's
just like
dope.
walking along the street and everything.
Did
and
his eyebrows have a personality
yes,
too?
it did.
That's
yes, it did. I was
amazing.
like,
That's
like they had
amazing.
these
I
buses
love
and stuff
him.
where they bus around
Yeah.
and like you see this. He was like hiding his face and stuff. And I
Oh,
was,
yeah, he
I was
probably
like, yo,
don't want
you
people to
didn't-
see him.
He didn't want anybody to see him. No.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool.
You guys remember him best from the American Pie movies?
Oh, definitely.
I know
for
him
me,
from
yes.
a lot. Yeah, I mean, I know him from that, but I also love him in Schitt's Creek. Shout out to Schitt's
Yo,
Creek.
we
That's
are
the
watching
best-
Schitt's Creek right now.
It's the best fucking show.
That show is
ever.
amazing.
I adore that.
Have
show.
you watched Schitt's Creek, bro?
You
You need to watch
you
it.
need to watch it.
Seriously.
It's so worth it.
It's so
Oh
hilarious.
my God, it's such a good show. I love that show.
If you like deadpan humor where it's like, there's no like laugh track in the background. So
And the
whatever
guy-
joke, it just hits you.
What's his name?
Yeah.
He's in he plays Amy's brother in Everybody Loves Raymond, the red-haired guy. I can't remember his name, but he plays the mayor.
Right.
He plays the mayor
Yep.
of Schitt's Creek. He
And
plays Roland.
he's ridiculous.
Fucking hilarious.
He's hilarious. Dude, you have
Hilarious.
to watch.
Right on.
Shout outs to
a good
Eugene
show.
Levy.
For real, shout outs to Eugene Levy. And shout outs to the red-haired guy. I can't
For
remember
real.
your name.
Right on. All right, so we're gonna be wrapping it up.
Yep.
But,
Excellent.
Danielle, we can't thank you enough for agreeing to come on and
Of
share
course.
Thank you.
knowledge
Appreciate
with us.
it.
This was wonderful.
Thank you. It was such a good time.
This
It
was
really
great.
was.
I love being on here. I appreciate you guys asking me to come on. This is
Absolutely.
wonderful.
We ain't
Thank
gonna get you out of here.
Thank
It's
you.
all right.
Anything you'd like to shout out or plug in particular, or shout out your social media in case any listeners want to get at you?
I do have a smoking Instagram if anybody's interested. It's weedyinwild_. So if you want to follow me on there, you can. I also have a personal, but yeah, that one's public, so you can follow that one.
Okay. It's all
But
good.
yeah, so that's pretty much it.
You want to shout out the pass or puff
I
puff
do.
pass?
I want to shout out the pass. You guys know I love you guys. So it's a
Shout
great
outs.
place to work. Everybody should come visit. I think it's a great
Yeah,
place.
that's dope. I think we should definitely try to
Yeah,
It's
why not?
definitely
get that
worth
spot
coming to
open.
see.
Sure.
We should definitely.
sure.
And there's plenty of stuff to do just around. Like there's places to eat. There's places to, like I said, go hike and stuff. There's all kinds of stuff to do.
Right. It's very atmospheric.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Love it.
And the drive is really nice too. It's very pretty.
That's
wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We should definitely.
And we love seeing new faces. I mean, what we can see of the faces with the masks and everything. So,
Right.
The eyebrows, the happy eyebrows.
the eyes and the eyebrow.
For sure.
Right. No, we should definitely say though and shout out that we at It's All Relative definitely huge shout out to the people that passed, man.
Yeah. Huge shout outs.
Keep doing your
We
thing.
Yeah,
appreciate
honestly.
it.
We support you guys.
Yeah,
and
you guys are
everything that
leading
you
the
are
way.
all
We love it.
about, we down.
Love to
For
hear
sure.
it.
Yes, we
Love to
are.
be a part of it.
We want to remind all our fans about
Oh
the
yeah,
call-in
so
thing.
the call-in thing, yeah, we're gonna figure out a name by next week. But yeah, you guys can call in and ask us questions. You can give us shout outs, give us like any concerns or criticisms, any even like topic ideas, just shout us out, let us know. We'll record it and we'll play it back.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Submit your questions through Anchor.
Yeah, run your questions through Anchor. You can just submit them through.
Do it, guys.
Yep, it's
We'll-
all audio responsive.
We'll edit,
Do it.
We'll edit you in and we'll answer you live. You want to hit them with your social accounts?
Oh yeah, so my Instagram is I'm starting to use it now. I'm starting to see you people. Tunde TUNDE, and that's 2017, and that is for my Instagram. As for Twitter, it's Retro Show. That's RETROSHO. And if you see the Darth Kermit, you're seeing me. I'm gonna have to put my face on there eventually though.
And you guys can always find me at Josh_Toth3. That's my Instagram.
Mhm.
My Facebook is Joshua Toth. We'd also want to remind you guys to please find us on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and Google. Continue to help us and support us and the pod by subscribing, following, sharing, commenting. Leave a 5-star rating.
Please blow it up.
Yeah, that's
Blow it up.
That's
Blow
a
the
huge
5-star
help.
Blow it up.
Please.
Yeah.
I'll follow you guys so they can find
Yay.
me too.
Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate
Appreciate
Just
it.
in case.
Big shout out and thank you to our editor, Deirdre.
Shout outs to Deirdre.
Shout
Thank
outs
you.
to Deirdre.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we couldn't be more pleased with how everything continues to sound. So thank you. Lastly, we want to thank all of our day oneers.
Shout outs to the day oneers.
Shout outs to the day oneers.
Thank you for
Yes.
being here for all 12 episodes.
Yeah, thank you for continuing to show your love and support. We see each and every one of you, and we love you.
Love you a lot.
All right, my man. That's a wrap.
Damn, we out now?
We
Yeah.
out.
Great,
See, she out too?
great episode.
Shout outs to D-Rock.
Shout outs
Yeah.
to It's All Relative.
Yay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
D-Rock, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Josh. Thank you, Timothy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone stay safe, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Peace out.